welcome to an Apple a Day. This is your host, Apple here. I hope y'all are doing wonderful. We're going to go ahead and start with our 5-minute meditation. And let's begin. I let go of what is out of my control. It is easy for me to be harmonious. I am in control of my actions, even when I feel out of control. I take time to remember past victories. I can do this. Each breath is like a refreshing wave that cools me down and helps me relax. I am worthy of everything I work for and manifest. I choose to live my best life. I focus only on the things I can control. I release stress in my body with every exhaled breath. I have a clear and relaxed mind. I am worthy of peace and tranquility. I am completely present in the moment. I am letting go of all pressure and stress. I know everything will be alright. My mind and body are relaxed and calm. Distractions don't disturb me. My positive thoughts create positive feelings. I can make it through this. The calm is just on the horizon. I am attracting money. My life is at peace in this very moment. I let go of fear, worry, and anger. I look forward to tomorrow. My mind is strong and calm like the ocean. I delegate tasks to relieve my workload and stress. I am always willing to see the best side of life. I choose to break free from negativity. I feel the stress slowly leaving my body. I am relaxed and refreshed. Stress and anxiety are gone away. I am hopeful. I am okay, even when I have trouble controlling my emotions. I am capable of doing hard things. I am calm as I accept my current situation. I think healthy thoughts. I am okay with being uncomfortable. I owe to myself to avoid people, places, and events that make me unhappy. I am experiencing human emotion. I am liberating myself from fear, judgment, and doubt. I am consciously choosing to remain at peace. I am in charge of my feelings even when I am anxious. I breathe, I am collected, and I am calm. I can feel my inner peace expanding. I trust myself to make big changes. I let go of the bad company. I take control of my reaction to outside events. I shift my mindset to a more positive one. I'm in harmony with my life. I am at peace with who I am and excited about who I am becoming. And that will go ahead and do it for our 5-minute meditation. So let's go ahead and get right into the episode topic. Hey, we're going to go ahead and get started with the episode topic question. So this week's topic question is, who are some people that move or inspire me? So I kind of broke this down to 5 parts. Because I think it's really important to understand all the areas that you can draw inspiration from. And I think it's really important to be open-minded when you are drawing inspiration, because how I kind of see things is that if it can better me or make me a better person, individually, spiritually, professionally, then I think it's worth looking into. That's kind of one of my philosophies. So, that being said, the first people that I look towards or that inspire me are the ones that came before. So these are historical figures that typically were at the pillar or the heads of their community, respectively. People such as athletes, scientists, millionaires even. One of the things I take away is their work ethic, because these people in their communities, the reasons they're at the pillar is because of how hard they work to get to being recognizable, So for example, like Michael Jordan. Everybody knows Michael Jordan because of how well he played in the NBA. How different he came across on the court made the biggest difference. And his personality shined through in that endeavor. That's why you have a whole shoe line of Jordans, That's why you have, I don't know so much now, but he had so many brand dealerships where he was in commercials consistently. So it's just he was able to do those things because he put in the work. And a lot of times people don't want to put in the work. They want to get to that end goal. They want it, but they don't know how to get there, or they don't prioritize the things that would propel them to get to that point. And it takes a lot of discipline to be able to do that for yourself. And it is really, really important that if you want to meet your goals, that you take the time, differentiate your priorities, and then shoot for that goal. Make sure it's something that is obtainable. And I think one of the most important reasons or ways to do that is set small goals that equal to big goals. Michael Jordan specifically, he did not make his high school basketball team, and for him in that period of his life, that was a big goal. But there are other goals that he made that eventually led him to being in the NBA. He didn't make his high school basketball team. Okay, what do I need to do to be able to be in the NBA? I probably need to find recruiters to actually look at me. I need to improve my game so that I'm worth looking at to recruiters. And I think a driving force behind that is the fact that he didn't make his high school team. It made him try all the more harder to be able to say that there's something that they missed in me. Not necessarily like the skill specifically, because they could say, the skill wasn't there at that point. They didn't want to take the risk on him. But what they missed is his drive and where he could have taken that team, potentially, if they had given him the resources, if they had taken a chance on him then, But who's to say he would be, in the NBA? Who's to say he would be where he is now, doing as well as he's doing now, if he hadn't missed that opportunity and had another door open to him because of his determination, because of his drive and his work ethic. Scientists, I'm a really big Einstein fan. Anybody that knows me knows that. I've always said, like, if I was going to get, like, one tattoo, it was going to be E equals MC squared on my wrist. And it's mainly because when I was younger, I was so inspired by so much science and, like, philosophy stuff. And the thing that really drove me to, like, pursue education, one of the few things, is that Albert Einstein, like, he worked so hard to, like, prove the theory of relativity, right? And, big britches younger me was like, I'm gonna disprove it. And granted, my life hasn't taken me in the route that I want to disprove it anymore. I don't really see the point in that. But I knew that it wasn't something that could be done overnight. It was something that I was going to have to work at. It was something I'm going to have to, continuously read and learn and understand where he was coming from and understand where I need to come from to be able to do something like that, to disprove his theory and then maybe reprove another one. It takes time, it takes effort, but it's like you have to do it in steps. You have to have many goals that help you get to your big goal. And that could mean, these are stepping stones to get where you need to be, or these are things that will help propel you to keep going. It's even better if they, work hand in hand, and they're both. For example, for me now, I'm in school. I'm in pharmacy school. I've always wanted to be a doctor. I've always wanted to, have the title, yes, but the knowledge that comes with it. I've been in pursuit of the knowledge that comes with that title at that level. And to be able to, get into pharmacy school, there are things you have to do. You have to, go to grade school, have to graduate, or get a GED. You have to do prerequisite coursework. You have to do interviews. You have to do letters of recommendation. There's steps to getting into pharmacy schools. And there's steps to completing pharmacy school, or just any school in general. There are steps that you have to take to make sure that you meet your end goal. And how you meet your end goal is setting up those small goals. So me in my life right now, those small goals are, doing all of my exams, to be able to make the grade, to be able to get the degree. There are steps to these things. And then millionaires. So I threw this one in here because a lot of people, I would say, are kind of entranced with social media right now and the life of luxury. And it's really nice. Liking nice things is nice. Seeing and being able, wanting to, travel or, take a vacation, that's a wonderful, amazing thing. But to be able to get to the point where you're able to do that comfortably on your own terms and all, you have to put in the work. So maybe that's you putting in the work at a different type of job that doesn't necessarily require professional training. And working so that you have that time off, or it could be educating yourself to the point where you have that luxury, you're able to make the money to take those vacations, go and travel, whether it be personally or within your job, like making that opportunity available with what you've done already to, solidify and build towards your goals. A lot of people, especially now with inflation and everything, a lot of people have in their hearts some type of fear of financial stability, right? And a lot of millionaires have plenty of books out there for you to read. I'm reading The Compound Effect right now, and it's more of like a application of success within your life, but also how to build yourself financially. Great book, by Darren Hardy, I believe it is. There are steps that you take to making sure that you're going to be financially stable, whether it being getting a nice job, being able to, put in the work, the time, effort to be getting a promotion to make better money, more money, better living expenses, better living conditions, etc., etc. Having some of that money to be able to save, invest, and do whatever you want with it. It takes a discipline, and without that discipline, you can never hope to become a millionaire. Because when you get the money, you're gonna spend it instead of saving it, so that it could either become more money, which is preferred. You'd want to save your money so that they can make money, or save money so that you don't spend it. I prefer an active approach of, like, if you're going to be putting money away that you're not going to be using, I would say make your money make money for you. In some way, form, or fashion, make money for you. It also allows you to have better life circumstances in terms of, like, yes, we want to have a good work ethic. No, we don't want to work for the rest of our lives, The really important aspect of that is investing or saving into, like, a retirement fund of some sort. If you don't get to do it when you're younger, then you'd be doing it when you're older, when you have the time to. Again, to be able to do that, you have to set yourself up to meet those goals, and you have to start at the small to be able to get to that point. Other people that inspire me are the ones that teach. So these are my family, my friends, teachers and professors, and then also religious and spiritual figureheads. So when you grow up with your family, or if you don't grow up with your family, there are certain things that you learn to do or not to do. The same thing with friendships that come and go. You learn how to be a better friend, how not to be a good friend. Teachers and professors, usually they're teaching you the fundamentals of basic life skills that are standardized that people should know, kind of thing. How to add, how to subtract, how to write a paper, etc., etc. Stuff like that. They teach you foundational things. So this is your building block, your ground zero for how you make your castle, how you get to that end goal, how you start to set up those baby steps. This is the plan this is the journal that you're writing in, the plan that you're laying out. Most of these individuals, your family, your friends, and teachers or professors are going to be the ones that are going to help set up that foundational aspect for you, or help you set it up for yourself, I should say. And I include religious and spiritual figureheads in here because even if you don't adhere to a specific religion, or even if you do, there's beauty and wisdom in drawing from other religions, other aspects and philosophies that add to your life, that make you a better, more holistic, kinder person. And a lot of what is looked at with the religious and spirituality or spiritual parts of this that I'm talking about is having some sense of morality. This is also tying in with having a foundation. So this is what is going to keep you on that track to meeting your goal. So if you say, I'll never take an exorbitant amount of money for a job that I'm gonna hate, right? Say that's your goal, like that's one of your moralistic standards. And a job comes around, it offers you so much money, but you know that you're gonna hate it. You're at the crossroads. Do you take it because it makes a lot of money? Or do you decline it because it's something that you're not gonna love? You're not really gonna enjoy it. It's really important to set what is going to keep you on track as you progress through these small goals and as you get to your big goal. And the reason why this is so important is because when you lay the foundation for these moralistic standards, when you're at these small goals, when you're doing the little stuff, it'll automatically follow you when it gets to the big stuff. Granted, you can be persuaded, you can be coerced, manipulated, or changed in some ways by your environment or by the people that you surround yourself with. And whether you actually change or not when you get there is up to you. And that's why I say it's important to have those realistic standards so you know what you stand for. And that's not something that's going to change just because you got a higher position at work, just because you got a promotion, just because you're in a position of power, just because you got money. Those things aren't supposed to change. Those things are who you are at your core. It's part of the foundation of what has actually helped get you to that place that you're at right now. When you decide to discard those things, that's when it gets bad and that's when it gets ugly. Because the thing that helped you get there, if you try to do something else that's not part of your foundation, it's very likely that you won't be able to stay at where you got, because you're using a different formula for success than what has worked for you thus far. From a scientific standpoint, if you have something that has years of research, it doesn't make sense really to put all your eggs in one basket on something that has never worked before, is completely new, has no research backing to it. That's one of the reasons they have processes within medical communities for drug approvals and stuff like that. It can't just all happen at one time. There are steps to it. You have to build to it. You have to have evidence back behind it. You have to have a foundation for why you're doing it and what you're doing it for. The next aspect I would say is of people that inspire me are the ones that were worse off but kept going, or the ones that started from the bottom. And I would say if you're a foreign born, or your parents are immigrants, or a parent is an immigrant, you would understand what I mean by this. Specifically coming to America, you don't necessarily start with much. A lot of times you start from scratch, you start from zero, and you work your way up. So a lot of people will look down on individuals that start from a lower position than them. But I have all the props and I have all the respect for those individuals because they were not dealt an easy card in life. They started a little bit farther back than the rest of everybody and the rest of the crowd. and they were continuously trying to play catch up. And it's not even just playing catch up. At sometimes, in some instances, they're not even just trying to play catch up, they're trying to surpass. So I have nothing but respect for people that come from those backgrounds, that want to do better, that want to do more. And it's so honorable, in my opinion, when they face those roadblocks, that they keep going. Anybody, when you face a roadblock, I understand that it is hard, but I would say to keep on going. The only thing that can come of it is you denying the chance for it to get better. A situation, an event, a condition. You're denying the opportunity for it to get better. And I say this because I don't, in a very light sense, I don't know every situation, but I would say most of the time, waiting it out can lead to a positive result. Or putting in more work can lead to a positive result. Take that with a grain of salt, because it won't apply directly to every single situation, but I feel as though it can apply in a certain capacity in everybody's life. The fourth one, I would say, is the ones that represent where you're going or where you want to be. So when you were a child, you probably had some idea of what you were going to be when you grew up. And you probably, idolized or looked up to, really, people that were like what you were going to be like when you grew up. So say, for example, I at one point wanted to be an astronaut. So I loved watching anything that had to do with space. I loved watching the moon landing. I loved looking at anything that had to do with basically NASA growing up. Because that's where I wanted to be. That's where I wanted to go. One of the things I want to do. One of the things I want to be. And it's really great when you have an example, because what it says is that I'm able to do that too. If they got there, then I can get there. The only thing that's probably going to stop me is me from getting to that point. And granted, again, grain of salt, because I can't speak for every situation, but I'm speaking on what you can control. What you can control is you putting in the work to get where you want to go. And that's all that can really be asked of you, is for you to put in the work and for you to do your best to get there. And my last, the last thing that I would say inspires me is the mirror. And I say the mirror because it's the one that shows you where you were, where you are, and where you want to be, or where you're going. And it can also show you how you're going to get there. So this is a reflective moment, because I think it's very interesting. Sometimes we forget to look at ourselves. I don't just mean physically, but like within ourselves, we forget to look at ourselves. And I think beyond any of these examples I've given already thus far, who you are now versus who you were yesterday, a week ago, a year ago, I'm sure it's changed. It can be for the better, or it could be for the worse. That is up to you. That is what you can control. But for the most important thing, I would say, is there is only competition with yourself. Nobody else. Everybody else can be an inspiration to you, but you're not in competition with them. You're in competition with yourself. Who is gonna have every single situation be aligned exactly the same way, have every single opportunity or disadvantage the exact same way other than yourself? Nobody. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you are in competition with yourself. You're competing to be a better you than you were yesterday, a week ago, a year ago, etc. That is the only person that you should focus on competing with at any point in time. As long as you're making the effort to be a better you, that is a dub. That is a win. When you're making the effort to be a better you, to love yourself, that is a dub. That is a win. And I think that's one of the most important and often forgotten things in the world. And with that, I'm going to end the episode. We're going to talk about 3 good things before we leave off, though. So, I would say, good thing number 1, I had an honors luncheon. It was amazing. Food was great. I didn't get to finish my cream cheese pie, cake, chocolate thingy, but it was so decadent. It was so delicious, and I loved it. 2, my midterms are over. It was a little stressful. I had a lot of headaches. I kind of stayed up a little bit too much. Not necessarily staying up too much, but it was like I would study, fall asleep, wake up, study, fall asleep, wake up. Like every other hour kind of thing. So it'd probably be better for me to, get a consistent sleep schedule. But it helps when you have the opportunity to take in the information, sleep on it. Take in the information and sleep on it. And that's basically what I was trying to replicate in that sense. Third thing I would say is it is almost the end of the week. I'm gonna finish all my stuff tonight early. I'm recording this podcast a little early because we got out because we ended up midterms early. It's nice because at the end of midterms, basically, you get to breathe. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna breathe. So I'm gonna head to bed after my meetings and seminar and talk to my folks, my peoples, and I'm gonna have a good sleep. I'm gonna have a nice sleep, a nice rest. I may play some video games. I don't know. That's gonna be it for me, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for listening in, as always. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for podcasts, for the podcast, tweet me at an apple a day, and I would appreciate that so much. I hope to be doing some big things in the near future, and I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting my podcast so far. This is episode 21. So yeah, I hope you all have a good day, and thanks y'all for listening in. Bye.